My friend let AI create a Minecraft base, and it's up to us to make something better. We've got 3 questions to help us along the way to beat the machine. The very first question should be obvious. What style are we building in? The style says a lot about a build. Medieval, modern, fantasy, Japanese, Greek, the list goes on. Every style has their own vibe and rules. So let's take a look at what the AI has chosen. Fantasy? Oh gosh. This might be the style I have the least amount of experience in. But I won't back down yet. Fantasy builds often have these flowy curves, pointy roofs, and let's not forget the towers. Everything is made with these bright, magical colors, which is what I'm going to use my next question on. And then we can get started on our base. Alright, you evil robot, what colors have you used in the build? Brown, grey, white, blue, purple, and a little bit of green. Purple? Brown has to be a type of wood. Probably some kind of support, like the edges of a house. Grey then must be stone, cobbled, regular, bricks, doesn't really matter. For white we can use stuff like calcite and quartz. Blue is something you see a lot of in fantasy builds. Often it is warped planks used for this. The little bit of green is probably some vines and other overgrown bits. But purple? What block is purple? Oh, purple and amethyst, of course. I've been playing this game for how long now? A good place to start with any build is the layout. Beginner builders usually just make a square. But that is not an appealing shape. You want to give your eyes something to look at. Like I said earlier, fantasy builds often include towers, so we'll make space for one right over here. This is looking good. Now let's choose the rough height for these sections. Something like this. I could go the simple route and use the warped planks for the roof, which is used a lot in fantasy builds. But since we have purple as an option, I might have something cooler in mind. If we take a look at other people's creations, we can clearly see that these type of structures are layered in 3 sections. Bottom, middle and top. And just like other people have, we will divide our colors along these parts. By the way, keep in mind that using other people's builds as an inspiration is never a bad thing to do. If all of us learn from each other, we can do so much more. Just never steal a build and claim it as your own. Alright, back to the build. As you can see, I've decided to use the warped planks on the bottom and the white with some nice grey detailing in the middle. And look, builds like these are always a kind of trust the process thingy. Right now, it looks like shit. But I promise you, this thing turned out nicely. This is actually my first time recording a building video like this. Normally everything is already planned out and ready. But this time you can actually see me going back and forth and changing a lot of stuff throughout. A little spoiler, but I spent like 15 minutes trying to figure out the roof of the tower. You'll see that in a second. And here comes the purple. I'll just use purple concrete as a placeholder, but we're going to switch that out in the end. Roofs are an essential part. You can see that the build just looked like a dull block tower before. But after these roofs were added, you immediately recognize it as a house. And of course, the pointy shape helps to sell it as a fantasy style house. I just hope the AI screwed up somewhere, because we've got to beat it. And here I've started on the tower. I'll speed this up for you because this took a while. Even when playing in survival, I like to build my stuff in creative beforehand. Tricky things like this tower roof can be a pain to make in survival. After a while of struggling, I just went back to some inspiration pictures and found some things that would fit right in. And voila! A pointy fantasy tower. Now watch closely. This is the part where a base comes together. Adding in all these details takes it from mid to good. That robot with the weird mustache doesn't stand a chance, I'm telling you. Luckily this building competition doesn't include an interior, because I do not have time to figure that out right now. Bada bing bada boom, spam some campfires, and you've got yourself a deck. Also, did you know you can place ladders on open trapdoors? Pretty cool. Alright, you probably know by now which direction I'm going in for the roof. This house will be some kind of magical amethyst farmer's house. So instead of potted plants next to the window, we'll add in some amethyst, ready to be harvested. Watching this back, I just realized how often I try stuff out. I've done about 3 different designs for every window on this build. But you know what? Who cares? Sometimes you can just throw stuff against the wall and see what sticks. Now before we move on to the last question to beat the machine, let's add in just a couple of spots of texturing. I quickly realized why people usually do that before adding in all the details. Part of the texturing is also the magic amethyst on the roof. With a couple of streaks, it will go from looking like a regular fabric kind of roof to something out of a movie. For the third and final question, before you reveal your AI slop, what is my build missing? Lots of greenery? Of course! When I heard the AI used a little bit of green, I was thinking about the landscape around it. but it really only becomes one with the environment when it is indulged by it. Vines, moss, grass, let's throw everything in. And you know what? For good measures, I'll base the house into a regular world. After exploring and clearing some trees, I found this spot, and it's perfect. Take a look at what we've created. And now it's up to you guys to decide, who did it better? Alright, I'm curious as well. The AI made... Whoa! Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I was expecting way worse. Let me know in the comments who won.